Hi everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We're on the Ohio road trip visiting my friend here in Columbus, Ohio, and his dad's 2019 Dodge Caravan has a problem with the cruise control. So it has 90,000 miles, and the customer complaint is sometimes when you push the engage button on the cruise control, the on off doesn't come on. Or if you cancel it, you can't re-engage the cruise control. So let's scan this thing for codes and see what the problem is. Hopefully it's something simple, something to do with the buttons on the steering wheel. But yeah, let's get a scanner on this thing. So for key on, engine off testing, I brought my Tornado 90,000 by TOPDON, set it at 13.5 volts, so we're not going to drain this battery while doing our checks. And this is a 2019 Chrysler product, so I assumed it was going to be, the secure gateway with auto auth. On this model, you do need to be connected to the internet, but you don't need the secure gateway authorization. You just need an updated bidirectional scanner. So we're using the Autel MK808 STS. That's the TPMS version. So it auto ID'd the vehicle, and we're just going to go into control unit, powertrain, engine control module, turn the key on. Let's try that again. And we have full bidirectional control. So read codes. Here we go. P0591 stored speed control switch 2 performance. So what is speed control switch 2? Let's look up this code in ALLDATA and see what could set this code, and then hopefully in live data we'll have some good data PIDs that we can look at and diagnose this problem accurately. Alright, so on ALLDATA, P0591 speed control switch 2 performance. So here's the wiring diagram. There's the PCM. So speed control signal 2, speed control signal 1, and the return or ground. Module, steering control, so steering column module, and here's the actual switch on the steering wheel. So 3 wires in here, 3 wires out to the PCM. Theory of operation. Speed control switches are located on the right steering wheel switch. It's a redundant switch consisting of 2 5-volt signals sharing a common return circuit. The right steering wheel switch is hardwired to the PCM via the clock spring pass-through within the steering column control module, the SCCM. So SCCM is located near the top of the steering column, below the steering wheel. Includes the shroud, steering angle sensor, clock spring, multifunction switch, steering column power tilt, and telescope switch if equipped. Okay, PCM has detected that a non-permissible combination has occurred in the speed control switch. Possible causes: resistance in the signal 2 circuit, the actual switch itself, or the clock spring. Okay, so here's the voltage between 4.9 and 5.1 volts. Check the signal 2 circuit. So they have you just doing resistance checks. That's not really the best way to do it, but all we need is this. So it's just a pass through. This module does not influence or change the signals. So my strategy is, let's go to live data and see what these voltages are when we press the buttons. Okay, so let's go into live data and select those data PIDs for switch 1 and switch 2 in the PCM. Okay, so SC is speed control. We're interested in, there we go, switch voltage, so we're just going to select the ones that we want, and voltage 2. And then we have switch state 1, switch state 2. So show selected. So we have 4.5 on switch 1, 4.6 on switch 2. This one says open, this one says open. Okay, so let me press the on-off switch and hold it down. So see the voltage changed there on both, but switch state 1 says on-off switch pressed, that's correct. And check this out, SC switch state 2 says invalid high. Let me go to the next button, the cancel button. Cancel switch pressed, invalid high. Look at switch voltage 2, it doesn't like that. And then the resume button, okay, switch 1 is happy, switch 2 is invalid high. And finally the set switch, or the coast switch, again, invalid high. So what could potentially be the problem here? It could be a bad contact between the PCM, so it's a pull down circuit. The switch pulls down those 2 voltages, and then the PCM verifies that they agree, and then the cruise control does its thing. On switch 2, it looks like the voltage isn't being pulled down enough. It's being pulled down somewhat. You know, it's changing on the live data, but it says invalid high. So what's the strategy here? I want to verify that the voltage from the PCM is making it all the way to this switch. When we press the button, I want to verify that the live data, what the PCM sees, is matching the meter that I'm going to connect to the wires as close to the switch as possible. So let's look up how to, maybe take this thing off, get to the connector, put a voltmeter on there, and see what the voltage is when we press the buttons. And if it agrees, then the problem's going to be in the buttons. If it disagrees, if the voltage here is too low compared to live data on switch 2, then we're dealing with a resistance somewhere along the line. It's not getting pulled down enough when we press the button. So two variables here. Let's try to get the switch out of here. Okay, so I found some instructions on how to remove the switch from the steering wheel. It says there's a screw right here. Then pull the outboard side of the right front spoke bezel up from the steering wheel enough to disengage the lip of the inboard side. Pull the right front spoke bezel 1 away from the steering wheel far enough to access and disconnect the steering wheel wire harness connection from the connector. So there's the connector right there. Let's try to get that access to these wires. Alright, here we go. So the switch is out, pulled it back, and we have nice access to the wires. And I'm probing 2 wires right now, and on the connector view diagram they're going to be pins 13, yellow and black, is switch to signal, and 14 is gray, switch ground. Okay, so here's the voltmeter, 4.5 volts, and switch 2, it says open switch not pressed, 4.5 volts. Okay, let's push the button. So let's push the on, 0.9 volts. Hey, look, switch state 2 is now valid. It doesn't say invalid high. Okay, let's press cancel. 1.5, 1.5, 1.49, yes. Resume. 3.9, 3.9. And finally, set or coast, 3.3. Everything's valid, 3.3. So I think we just fixed this cruise control problem, no parts required, just by removing the switch, and that connector must be a little pin terminal fretting. The resistance was just a little too high on that pin and wasn't pulling it down enough, and then the scanner was saying invalid too high. It's fixed. It's absolutely fixed. So do we when we press the on off on the cruise control, we can take it for a test drive, make sure it works. But now this data pin right here is saying it's valid. It was not before, it was saying invalid too high, but now it agrees. Cancel, resume, coast, and then on off. Just perfect. Alright, let's take it for a test drive. It's fixed. Alright, let's take this van on a test drive. These are the stored codes inside the switch unplugged. Let's erase codes. Yep. Okay. Okay. Read codes. Should be no DTCs. Excellent. And let's just look at live data while we're driving, make sure the switch inputs are valid. Alright, let's enable the cruise control. Yep, so we have that little indicator. And once the light turns green, we'll accelerate to a reasonable speed and see if it holds the speed. Alright, here we go. 20 miles an hour. It's set. Yep, we have a little arrow, and I'm not touching the gas pedal. We're going almost 30 miles an hour. And cancel. Perfect. Everything works. Beautiful. So that's it. Quick and easy, no parts required. That's probably going to be your problem if you own one of these Caravans. Just take the switch out, unplug it, plug it back in. Should be good to go. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. A little bonus footage here. Rick's 66 Buick Skylark. And get some gas. The gas is probably 8 years old. Still fired up. You didn't stall out the intersection, that's good. Secret gas tank. So they don't have ethanol free, unfortunately, so we'll put the mid-grade.